Hello everyone, and welcome to Earth Archives. Today, we're taking you on an in-depth journey to explore the mysterious and vast continent of Africa, with a special focus on a country so large in area it's hard to imagine, yet surprisingly sparsely populated Namibia. From the ancient wonders of the Namib Desert, to the mysterious fogs along the Skeleton Coast, and the abundant diamond mines, Namibia's story is filled with natural marvels and rich history. If you're interested in Africa's geography, population density, desert ecosystems, or travel destinations, you definitely don't want to miss this video. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. Also, leave a comment below to share your thoughts about Namibia or other amazing places in Africa. Let's explore this diverse and beautiful continent together. Speaking of Africa, this vast continent is truly overflowing with stories. Africa is the world's second-largest continent, covering a massive 30.2 million square kilometers. Although it's smaller than Asia, it remains one of the most spectacular and diverse places on Earth. Did you know? Africa is almost entirely enclosed by the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, with the equator nearly dividing it right in half, north and south symmetry. This unique geographic position earns Africa the nickname the tropical continent, enjoying abundant sunshine year-round and a climate that is both warm and varied. This environment has made Africa the continent with the highest birth rate and fastest population growth in the world. From the Sahara Desert in North Africa to the magnificent savannas of South Africa, from tropical rainforests to arid deserts, the entire continent is bursting with life and vitality. Africa's culture is incredibly diverse and rich, with countless languages, ethnic groups, and traditions weaving together to form a unique and fascinating tapestry that inspires both curiosity and awe. However, if there's one region in Africa where population density is completely disproportionate to its vast land area, it's definitely Namibia in the southwest corner. This country is astonishingly large, covering about 824,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of 23 Taiwans combined. It's even bigger than Japan and the United Kingdom, yet it has only around 2.6 million people. This makes Namibia one of the least densely populated countries in Africa and the second least densely populated country in the world. Just imagine, about 3 people per square kilometer, giving the impression that the entire nation quietly breathes within its vast open spaces. Namibia is located in southern Africa and spans approximately 824,000 square kilometers. Those numbers sound impressive, right? It's more than twice the size of Japan and over 3 times the size of the United Kingdom. If you were to place Namibia near the South China Sea, it would almost connect Malaysia, the Philippines, Vietnam, and even parts of China's Hainan Island along the coast. Simply put, it's a place so vast it's almost unimaginable. Interestingly, despite its vast land area, Namibia's population in 2023 was only about 2.6 million, less than 5% of South Africa's population. To put it another way, Namibia's size is roughly equivalent to 23 Taiwans combined, yet its population is about the same as that of Taipei City alone. This extremely low population density creates a feeling of walking through vast grasslands or deserts, surrounded by endless skies and silent open land. When people think of countries with the lowest population densities in the world, Australia and Canada often come to mind first, both known for their vast, sparsely populated, and remote landscapes. In Asia, Mongolia stands out as a typical example, famous for its boundless steppes and expansive deserts. Mongolia's low population density makes sense, given it is a landlocked country mostly covered by the Gobi Desert and barren plains, coupled with a harsh, freezing climate that makes life difficult and limits natural population growth and settlement. Namibia's situation, however, is quite different. It boasts thousands of kilometers of coastline and neighbors one of Africa's wealthiest and most developed countries, South Africa. Theoretically, this geographic position should be ideal for attracting population and capital. The coastline facilitates trade, and the prosperity of its neighbor should help drive local development, attracting immigrants and investment. Yet, the reality is that Namibia remains surprisingly empty and sparsely populated. Namibia's geography is truly one of a kind. It's no exaggeration to call it Africa's natural wonder. While the vast, scorching, and mysterious Sahara Desert dominates northern Africa, and the lush tropical savannas and dense forests fill much of central and southern Africa as nature's green treasure troves, Namibia has carved out a completely different path. Here lies the extremely narrow coastal desert known as the Namib Desert, a gigantic golden ribbon that stretches gently along Namibia's coastline for more than 2,000 kilometers. Covering an area of about 50,000 square kilometers, it may not sound exceptionally large, but its shape is very unique. Unlike other deserts that spread wide and vast, the Namib is long and narrow, hugging the Atlantic coast like a shadow from south to north, as if nature carefully drew the boundary with a delicate brush. This kind of landform is very rare. The Namib Desert is not just about sand. Its existence is closely tied to the ocean climate, topography, and prevailing winds. The collision between moist ocean air and the hot, dry air inside the desert creates this unique arid zone. Moreover, the Namib is not a newcomer. It has been on this land for at least 80 million years, predating even the dinosaurs, making it one of the oldest deserts in the world. Speaking of the Namib Desert, this peculiar desert appears right by the sea, and yet remains incredibly dry. Why is that? The answer lies in Namibia's unique climate and wind patterns. Namibia is located at the narrowest part of the African continent, a geographic position that makes its climate especially interesting and creates one of the world's rare coastal deserts along its shoreline. From the southeast, moist winds known as the southeast trade winds blow in from the Indian Ocean. In theory, these winds should carry abundant moisture, bringing rain and greenery that help plants thrive. However, it's not that simple. Before reaching Namibia, these winds must cross a high mountain range in South Africa, which acts as a natural barrier, blocking most of the moisture. By the time the southeast trade winds pass over the mountains and reach Namibia, nearly all the moisture has been stripped away, leaving the winds hot and dry, completely incapable of delivering rain. As a result, Namibia's land is subjected to this persistently dry and hot climate, with annual rainfall averaging only 70 to 100 millimeters, and some areas receiving less than 10 millimeters, truly a place where water is scarce. This extreme dryness makes it very difficult for dense vegetation to grow in Namibia. In many areas, not even grass can take root, resulting in vast stretches of barren desert. This is one of the main reasons for the country's very low population density. People find it hard to live and farm in such harsh conditions, so settlements are mostly concentrated in areas where water sources are more abundant and the climate is slightly more hospitable. But the story of the Namib Desert is not just about drought and desolation. It also carries a chilling, mysterious legend. Along the Atlantic Ocean's winding coastline, the desert is continuously affected by cold, moist air coming from the sea. When this moist, cold air meets the hot, dry winds blowing from the land, it creates a collision of powerful air currents that form a dense fog in the atmosphere. This is no ordinary fog. It's a thick, blinding mist so heavy that it can make it impossible to open your eyes and turn navigation for ships into a nightmare. For about 180 days a year, this coastline is almost entirely engulfed by this thick fog, making the nearby waters treacherous for vessels. Over the past few centuries, thousands of ships have met their doom here, running aground, becoming stranded, or even sinking, due to this dense fog. Sailors trapped near the shore were often left in despair, greeted not by warm rescue, but by endless barren desert and the blazing sun. Therefore, this stretch of coastline has been ominously nicknamed the Skeleton Coast. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. The name not only comes from the numerous shipwreck remains scattered along the shore, but also from the desolate and mysterious atmosphere that has long terrified sailors. Even today, it remains one of the most dangerous coastlines in Africa and the world. Ships must navigate with extreme caution, always wary of suddenly descending thick fog that can engulf them. Although Namibia's coastline stretches thousands of kilometers with spectacular scenery, it is far from an ideal area for habitation or economic development. Besides the awe-inspiring Namib Desert, there are two key ports, Walvis Bay and Lüderitz, but both are relatively small, mainly serving local fishing and minor trade activities. They haven't attracted large populations nor become economic hubs. The limited size of these port towns reflects the harsh natural conditions that restrict development in the entire region. Water resources pose one of Namibia's greatest challenges. The country has very few rivers, most of which are seasonal, such as the Swakop River and Omarur River. These rivers fluctuate greatly with the seasons, often drying up almost completely during dry periods, making them unable to support large-scale shipping or agricultural irrigation. This instability of water supply directly limits the expansion of agriculture and industry and makes it difficult for the population density to grow, since a stable water source is essential for life. The Orange River, however, stands out as Namibia's only perennial river, bringing a glimmer of hope to this arid land. But this river doesn't belong solely to Namibia. It is shared with South Africa, and the two countries have agreements in place to manage this vital water resource. Flowing through southern Namibia, the Orange River is an important source for local agricultural irrigation and domestic water use, yet it still cannot fully compensate for the country's widespread drought and water scarcity. In other words, although Namibia boasts a uniquely advantageous coastline that could serve as a prime hub for maritime trade, the harsh climate and geographical conditions have constrained its development, making it resemble more of a landlocked country in practice. Due to the limited scale of its ports and the challenges posed by the coastal desert and persistent fog, maritime transport is quite restricted. Consequently, most domestic goods transportation relies on road and air freight, which are more costly and hamper economic expansion. Namibia's arable land accounts for only about 1% of its total land area, an extremely limited amount that severely restricts agricultural production. This, in turn, affects population concentration and sustained economic growth. Most of the country's land is covered by arid desert and terrain unsuitable for farming, forcing people to settle only in a few relatively hospitable areas. Namibia's population distribution is therefore highly uneven. The northern regions, with their relatively abundant grasslands and milder climate, have become the main population centers. The land there is more suitable for grazing and small-scale farming, attracting more residents. In contrast, the vast desert areas covering the central coast and southern parts of the country are almost uninhabited, empty, and desolate, like a barren landscape painting. Although Windhoek, the capital city, serves as Namibia's political and economic hub, its population size is relatively small. Surrounding it are wide open grasslands and rolling hills, far less bustling and vibrant than many other major African cities. This situation reflects Namibia's ongoing struggle and balance between development and the natural environment's constraints. Overall, Namibia's geography and climate have shaped its unique natural beauty, but at the same time have become invisible shackles limiting population density and economic scale. When it comes to Namibia's economy, agricultural resources are very limited, but its mineral wealth, especially diamonds, is a significant advantage. Namibia is not only one of Africa's important diamond producers, but also boasts some of the world's richest marine diamond deposits. This fascinating phenomenon is the result of millions of years during which diamonds from inland South African mines were washed down rivers and carried by ocean currents to Namibia's coast, creating a natural diamond corridor, as if nature itself had prepared a treasure trove for this land. This makes Namibia's coastline not only beautiful, but also incredibly valuable. Looking back at history, Namibia was already one of the world's major diamond exporters during the colonial era. The German colonizers and later the South African administration placed great importance on this gold mine. Even after Namibia gained independence in 1990, diamonds remained the lifeline of the national economy, bringing in huge foreign exchange earnings and employment opportunities. For this sparsely populated, arid country, the value of diamonds was almost like a life-saving straw, supporting the livelihoods of many. Besides diamonds, Namibia is also rich in other metal minerals, such as copper, lead, and zinc. Copper mining was once a key pillar industry locally, attracting significant foreign investment and technology, further driving economic development. Lead and zinc have steady demand in global markets, bringing substantial revenue to Namibia, which supports public infrastructure and social services. Of course, an economy heavily reliant on mining also faces challenges. Fluctuations in mineral prices directly affect the country's economic stability, and mining operations put pressure on the environment. The Namibian government is actively seeking paths toward economic diversification. Tourism, with its unique natural landscapes and abundant wildlife resources, has become a promising alternative industry, attracting more and more international visitors. The unique ecosystem of the Namib Desert is undoubtedly a dazzling gem of Namibia's tourism industry, injecting a special vitality into this vast land. The natural landscapes here are breathtaking, from the endless golden dunes to the occasional patches of greenery. Every detail seems to tell a wondrous story of nature. One of the most astonishing sights is the rare plant known as the Welwitschia mirabilis, often called the living fossil of the plant world. This remarkable plant is a true witness to time, with a lifespan that can stretch for hundreds of years. Scientists even estimate some to be over 1,000 years old. Its long, tough leaves remain green year-round, seemingly never withering, making it a symbol of the Namib Desert. Welwitschia's resilience is extraordinary. It can absorb moisture from the ocean fog in an extremely dry environment. This adaptability makes it a valuable subject for studying drought ecology. Whenever visitors see this magical plant, they can't help but marvel at nature's masterful craftsmanship. Because of this, the Namib Desert has become a dream destination for eco-adventurers and nature lovers alike. The Namibian government fully recognizes the importance of this unique ecosystem and was quick to list the Namib Desert as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. They are committed to preserving the land's pristine landscape and biodiversity. This not only raises international awareness of Namibia's natural resources, but also attracts large numbers of tourists eager to explore the spectacular dunes, unusual plants, and diverse wildlife such as desert elephants, black rhinos, and tortoises. As a result, tourism has become a major pillar of the national economy, providing employment opportunities for local residents and boosting related industries like accommodation, dining, and guided tours. Visitors to this mysterious desert can experience its changing moods from dawn to dusk. In the morning, the mist drifts over the dunes, creating a dreamy and ethereal atmosphere. At noon, the blazing sun makes the golden sand sparkle brilliantly. By sunset, the dunes on the horizon transform into warm shades of orange and red, as if stepping into a painting. These natural wonders not only inspire awe, but also evoke a deep respect for the resilience of life thriving in such harsh conditions. In summary, Namibia is truly a country with an exceptionally unique geographical environment. It boasts vast land and a long coastline, seemingly offering excellent conditions and natural advantages for economic development and population growth. However, the reality is harsh. The dryness and dense fog of the Namib Desert, combined with mountain barriers inland, result in extremely scarce water resources, making large-scale agriculture impossible and limiting population density. This leads to a highly uneven population distribution, with the northern regions being relatively fertile and the central and southern areas largely empty and desolate. Although Namibia boasts a long coastline, the dense fog and shipwreck legends along the Skeleton Coast have limited the development of marine resources and shipping. The ports remain relatively small, making it difficult for the country's economic focus to rely entirely on the ocean. Inland transportation mainly depends on roads and air transport, and these natural conditions present unique challenges for this vast land. However, Namibia's story also teaches us that having a large land area does not necessarily mean a large population, and a long coastline does not always bring prosperity. Every piece of land has its own rhythm of life and unique story. Its mineral resources, the miraculous Welwitschia plant, and magnificent desert landscapes not only shape the nation's identity, but also showcase the resilience and beauty of life in an extreme environment to the world. Thank you all for watching this wonderful introduction to Namibia and the African continent. This vast and mysterious country uses its unique geography and rich natural resources to reveal one of Africa's most enchanting sides. We hope you enjoyed today's content and gained a deeper understanding of the stories and challenges behind this land. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so more people can discover this natural wonder of Africa. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos on Africa, geographical wonders, and cultural explorations in the future. Feel free to leave comments telling us which African hidden gems or world wonders you'd like to learn about next. We'll continue bringing you the most interesting and in-depth content. Thanks again for your support, and see you in the next episode.